Good morning from Hidden Harbour. We're going to be doing some warm-ups to start. 8 repetitions. It goes like this. Arms up, arms out, arms up, head down. Here we go. Inhale. Last one. Forward fold. Get your fingertips as close to the floor as you can. And breathe. And walk those fingertips around to the left, getting your shoulders parallel with the edge of the mat. Knees are still locked. And breathe. And reverse all the way around to the right side. Center, big inhale up, and exhale down. And one more set of 8, here we go. To get closer than you did the first time. And left hand, left ankle, reaching all the way around to the left with your right arm. Reach till you feel it in your right hip. Feet hip distance apart, shoulders down and back, chin to chest. We're going to do 4 neck rotations clockwise, inhaling back, exhaling forward. At the same time, tucking under your tailbone and sucking your abdomen, keeping your core nice and tight. And reverse for 4 counterclockwise. And release. And bend your arms at the elbows. Bring your shoulders up to your ears. Roll them down and around. And back up, inhaling up, exhaling down, core remains tight. And release. And bring your right arm across, apply pressure to your upper arm. Breathe into that opening for your right shoulder, keep your core tight still, and breathe. left arm. And release. And spread your arms wide. Bring them together with the left arm on the bottom. Palms facing, raising your elbows up. Keeping your core tight and breathing into that big stretch for your upper back and shoulders. And release, and arms wide once more. Bring them back together with the right arm on the bottom. Turn your hands to palms facing or as close as you can get. Raise those elbows up, tighten your core and breathe. And release. And find a strap. Hold it in your right hand. Drop it over your right shoulder. Work your fingertips as close together on the strap as you can. And then pulling on the strap, press your elbows back. Tighten your core and breathe. And release and reverse. Switch to the left side. Walking those fingertips together once more. Pulling on the strap and pressing your elbows back. Core remains tight. And release. And now take your strap in both hands with locked elbows, holding them down here near your bum. Feet are hip distance apart. We're going to squat as though we're doing chair. That means knees aren't coming forward, they're staying straight, bum's going out. And as you lower your head towards the floor gradually, raise your arms higher and higher in the air as well. And breathe. Elbows are still locked. And lower your arms, drop your strap, and rise up slowly. Ready to do our lateral stretches. So right arm is straight up next to your ear, feet are hip distance apart, left fingertips on left thigh, looking upward and reaching till you feel it in that right hip. Core is tight as well, and breathe. Tiny step to the left, arcing your right arm over your head, gradually moving the fingertips of that left hand down towards your left knee, and breathe. And reach up with the left hand. You're going to hold that right wrist, give it a nice firm tug. Increase that stretch for your right side. Breathe into it. And release, and inhale up, and exhale down. And left arm up. Looking upward, reaching to Bring that left arm over your head, inching the fingertips of the right hand down towards the right knee. And reach up with the right hand, grab hold of the left wrist. Nice firm tug. Increasing the stretch for your left hip. And release, inhale up, and exhale down. And step off your mat. Do some balancing poses. Feet are hip distance apart, shoulders down and back. Raise your arms straight up next to your ears and up on your toes. And breathe. And release. And left foot forward. Toes of heel of left foot to right toes. Knees are slightly bent, arms relaxed. And breathe. And left foot to the back. And breathe. Work on tree, whatever version works for you today. On your way on your right foot, raise your left, find a place for it. And release, and all the way on the opposite leg. Find a place for your right. And release. And right foot forward, right arm forward, bringing the left foot behind. And release. And same thing opposite side, left foot forward, left arm forward. And back on the mat for standing poses. So we'll start with our left foot forward, our right foot back. Check your alignment. Heel of forward foot should be lined up with instep of back foot. The wider you start with your stance, the bigger stretches you'll get. So forward knees lunging, back knees locked. Arms are straight up next to your ears, hips facing forward, and breathe. Back leg, rocking back in a little back bend, looking up at that left hand and inching the fingertips of the right hand down towards the crease in your back leg, and breathe. Relax your shoulders and neck, and breathe. And reverse your palms to face upward. Forward thigh. Raise your right arm straight up to the ceiling and turn your head to look towards it. And lower your right arm down next to your ear. Reaching and extending. Trying to create a straight line from your fingertips back to your heel. And breathe. And backing out of the pose, turn your feet parallel. Lock up your knees. Fold your arms at the elbow. And let the crown of your head drop gradually towards the floor. Take nice deep breaths. Try to go a little lower with each exhale. Your palms on the mat below your shoulders. Push up into locked elbows. Tuck in your tailbone. Suck your abdomen in. And raise your head to look forward. Back to center. Big inhale up. And exhale down. And now we'll work the opposite side. So right foot forward, left foot back. Check your alignment, lock your forward, your back knee, lunge with your forward knee. Arms are straight up next to your ears and breathe. And lower your fingertips to your back leg, rocking back in a little back bend, looking upward, inching those fingertips down towards the crease in your back leg, and breathe. Forward arm, raise your back arm, relax your shoulders and neck and breathe. And reverse your palms to face upward. Bend your forward arm at the elbow. Place it on your forward thigh. Left arm straight up to the ceiling. Turning your head to look towards it. And breathe. extending, creating a straight line from fingertips to heel, and breathe. And backing out of the pose, turn your feet parallel once more. Lock up your elbows. Let the crown of your head drop towards the floor. And with each exhale, drop lower and lower. And fingertips or palms on the mat below your shoulders. Push up into locked elbows. Suck in your abdomen, tuck your tailbone under, and raise your head to look forward. And walk your feet back to center. Big inhale up. And exhale down. And move on to child's pose. So toes should be touching, knees should be parted. You're sitting all the way down on the back of your legs. And you can either fold your arms and rest your forehead on the folded arms. That's child's pose. If you want a little bigger stretch, extend your arms straight out and go forehead to the floor. And breathe deeply. Send lots of oxygen to all those areas we've been working. Your palms are directly below your shoulders, fingers spread wide. And we'll begin by taking our right arm, threading it through the opening over here on the left, reaching over so far that you can get the side of your face and your shoulder on the floor. Lean into that shoulder and breathe. Reverse, right palm on the mat, and elbows locked, threading your left arm through, reaching way over there so you can get the side of your face and your shoulder on the mat. Lean into the shoulder. You're getting both a twist and a shoulder opening, and breathe. And release. And curl your toes under and come up to kneeling. Have your knees approximately hip distance apart. Tighten your core. Raise your right arm. Reach back with the fingertips to the left hand. Try to find that left heel. Pushing your hips forward. Looking upward, you should feel a big stretch on the face of your thighs. And breathe. Reverse. Right arm up, left fingertips to left heel. Tighten your bum, pushing your hips forward and breathe. step out with your right foot. And way out there. Lunge all the way down. Make sure your knee's not exceeding your toes. If it is, move your foot forward a bit. Place your palms on top of that right thigh. Straighten your back. Lunge all the way down. Feel that big stretch on the face of your left thigh and hip. Breathe into it. And fingertips either side of that forward leg. Rock back on the heel of the left foot, or right foot. Lock your right knee, flex that right foot, point your toes to the ceiling. Now walk your fingertips forward a little bit at a time, trying to lower your nose down towards your knee. This is a super powerful hamstring stretch, so go to your edge, not to pain, and breathe. Step all the way out with your left foot. Flex. Lunge all the way down. Check and make sure your knee's not exceeding your toes. Palms on top of the left foot, left leg. And breathe, looking forward. Either side of that forward leg, locking back on the heel of the left foot, flexing the foot, pointing the toes to the ceiling, walking those fingertips forward and lowering your nose towards your knee. And breathe. Child's pose. Thumb all the way down. Breathe deeply, sending oxygen throughout your body. And return to hands and knees. Put your palms below your shoulders. Straighten your right leg, lock the right knee. Curl the toes under on the right foot. And press hard from the heel of the right hand. Stretching both the Achilles and the hamstring. Breathe into it. Raise that right leg behind you and lift and extend the left arm forward. Prowling tiger and breathe. And release and reverse. Left palm on the mat. Extend the left leg, lock the knee, toes curled under, pushing as hard as you can from that left heel of that left hand, stretching out the length of the left leg, and breathe. And raise the left leg behind, and lift and extend the right arm forward. child's pose. And now come down onto your abdomen. Put the side of your face on the floor and your arms at your side, palms facing upward. We're going to do some core work. When I say go, you're going to be lifting both your upper torso and your lower legs off the floor by tightening your core muscles. You're going to hold it for 25 seconds and breathe at the same time. And then you'll release, and we'll breathe, and we'll repeat 2 more times. So take a couple more slow, deep breaths. And go. And release and breathe. And go. And breathe. And go. And release and breathe. And return to hands and knees. Palms are below your shoulders. Knees are hip distance apart. We're going to do 5 repetitions of cat-cow. We're going to start by inhaling, letting our head drop, arching our back, pushing up hard. And then on the exhale, let your hips rise, let your back sag, and look forward. So do 4 more on your own. Toes under, pushing back from the heels of your hands. We're going to push up into downward facing dog. Push all the way back. Your goal is to get your heels to the floor. And as many of us are still working on that, we're going to flex, trying to stretch them out a little bit at a time. And then put all your weight on your right foot. And raise the left. Arms are locked and pushing straight back. And breathe. And release. And back sag, and looking upward in upward facing dog. Straight forward in Sphinx. And relax. Now next we're going to work on plank. As before, we're going to do 3 sets of 25, and we'll be doing plank from our elbows. You can leave your lower arms straight forward if you wish, or if you feel more comfortable, you can put one palm on top of the other hand. Your toes are curled under, and this time when I say go, you're going to push up into a flat back. You should be able to take a straight line from your shoulders to your heels. No bums sticking up in the air. That'll defeat the purpose of strengthening your core. So take some deep breaths. And go. And release and breathe. And go. And release and breathe. And go. Release and breathe. And we'll push back into a child's pose. Stretch that back in the opposite direction. And release. And the last one is pigeon. So you're going to be sitting on your right butt cheek. You're going to point your right knee forward and have the lower right leg fit out to the side. And your palms are going to be either side of that forward leg. Now straighten your left leg straight behind you with the kneecap facing downward. Lock your elbows and a little back bend as you look upward. And breathe. Fingertips forward, gradually lowering your upper body down over that right leg. With each exhale, try to go a little lower. Go to your edge, not to pain, but challenge yourself. And breathe. left leg slightly out to the side, arms either side of that forward knee with locked elbows, and the right leg straight back, kneecap facing downward. Looking upward, doing a little back bend, elbows locked, and breathe. And walk your fingers forward, gradually lowering that upper body down over your forward leg. Once again, deep breaths. Down onto your back. And hug your knees tightly to your chest. And release and lower your feet to the floor, putting the soles of your arms are at your side, arms up, and take some nice deep breaths. And now you bring your knees back together and draw them up towards your chest. We're going to do some hip rolls. Arms need to be straight out to the side, and you're not to let your shoulders come off the floor. First, you're going to roll both of your hips all the way over to the right side, getting as close to the floor as you can, while the left shoulder stays on the floor, and then reverse all the way over to the left side, with the right shoulder remaining on the floor. Do 9 more on your own. Soles of your feet on the floor. Roll your shoulders under slightly. And walk your heels back towards your bum. Your legs are going to stay straight and close together. And you're going to tighten your core and lift your torso off the floor. Pushing that navel as high up into the air as you can. And breathe. baby hug. And finally, we're going to do one more strengthening for our core. We're going to have our feet, ankles and knees together, lifting our feet about an inch off the floor. And we're going to do 10 clockwise circles, just an inch or two above the floor, and then reverse for 10. The most important part is throughout, you're going to have your core tighten, and you're going to be pressing and holding your lower back flat to the floor. That makes your abdomen do the work, and it takes the stress off your lower back, so it's very important. Raise your feet, press your fat lower back down. 10 small clockwise circles, and continue to breathe. And reverse for 10, still pressing and holding the lower back down. Send on your knees. And find your strap. We're going to do leg extensions. Put both feet in the strap, holding one end in each hand. Lock up your knees. And then pull those knees as close to your nose as you can. Pull hard. And you'll get a really good stretch for your buttocks, lower back, into your upper thighs, and breathe. And release. And take the left foot out, lower it to the floor. Keep that right knee locked. Hold both ends of the strap in your right hand, and put the left arm out to the left. We're going to lower this right leg down as close to the floor as you can get it over here on the right. Continue to breathe. And when you've got it down as far as you can get it, give a firm tug on the strap. And you'll get a big stretch for the inner thigh of your right leg. Breathe deeply into it. Strap to the left hand. Now you're going to put your right arm out to the side. The right shoulder needs to stay on the floor as you do this next one. Right knee stays locked. Roll that right leg across your body, aiming your big toe at the floor way over there on the left. Getting it over as far as you can, and then tugging on the strap. And you'll get a really big stretch for the back of that right hip and thigh. And breathe. Take the left foot out of the right foot out of the strap and put the left foot in the strap. Lower your right leg to the floor. Hold on to this strap with your left hand. Put your right arm out to the right. Right shoulder stays on the floor. And lower that left leg down as close to the floor as you can get it on the left side. When it's all the way down, give a hard tug on that strap and stretch out the inner thigh of your left leg and breathe. Raise that left leg up, transfer both ends of the strap to the right hand, and put the left arm out, keeping that left shoulder on the floor, and rolling the left leg across your body, getting that big toe as far over onto the left as you can, and then a big tug on the strap, and you'll get that good stretch up the back of the left hip and thigh, and breathe. legs, bringing the left leg in first. And we're going to be sitting nice and straight. And raising our arms straight up next to our ears. Reach until you feel it in your hips. And then forward fold, nose to the floor. Keeping those arms straight and strong. Don't let them flop. And breathe. And turn and face your left knee. Both arms straight up once more. Lifting and extending. Aiming your nose at that left knee. With each exhale, try to get closer. Keep the arms straight and strong. Returning to a straight back. Put your left palm behind your back, right arm over left thigh, twisting fully around to the left and looking over your left shoulder. And breathe. And release. And bring your right leg up and put it on top. And turn and face your right knee. Arms straight up once more. Lifting and extending, aiming your nose at your right knee. With each exhale, dropping lower. Keeping your arms straight and strong, and breathe. And release. And right palm behind your bum. Left arm over right thigh. Twisting all the way around and looking over your right shoulder. And breathe. And release. And now go down onto your back and begin to deepen your inhalations and exhalations. And get ready for some relaxation. Continue now with 5 slow, deep breaths. Breathing like this. 5, I'm breathing in, filling your abdomen fully, feeling it rise. 5, I'm breathing out, sucking your abdomen down to your spine. Do 4 more on your own. Attention to your body. Imagine your body gradually growing heavier and heavier and being drawn into the floor. Notice all the pulsations of energy moving throughout your body. Attention is feeding the energy. center, on downward to your chin, and finally to the pit of your throat. Your head is now so heavy it cannot be lifted. Return your attention to the pit of your throat. Allow your shoulders, your upper arms, your lower arms, and your hands to be drawn even more deeply into the floor. Allow all tension and energy to drain outward from the pit of your throat to your shoulders, down your upper arms to your elbows, down your lower arms to your wrists, and experience the energy pulsing out the palms of your hands and your fingertips. Your arms are now much too heavy to be lifted. Return your attention once more to the pit of your throat. Allow your entire torso to grow even heavier and to sink more deeply into the floor. Allow all tension and energy to drain downward from the pit of your throat to the middle of your chest, on down to your navel point, and finally to the center of your pubic bone. Your torso is now much too heavy to be moved. Return your attention to the center of your pubic bone. Allow your hips, your upper legs, and your lower legs to be drawn even more deeply into the floor. Allow all tension and energy to drain outward from the center of your pubic bone to your hips, down your upper legs to your knees, from your knees downward to your ankles, and experience the pulsations of energy exiting the soles of your feet and your toes. Your legs are now much too heavy to be lifted. Now return your attention to your body. Notice how quiet your mind is. How soft your breath is. And how gentle your heartbeat is. And now fully relaxed. You may begin to rouse yourself by slowly moving your fingers and toes and drawing your knees to your chest and rolling onto your right side. ones today.